Republicans are obviously scared of that man, Zohran Mamdani, and the likelihood that he will be the next mayor of New York City. How scared are they? They're going to the lengths that they're willing to effectively shred the Constitution just to get rid of him at literally any cost. Here is Steve Bannon.
This is the Mamdani play in New York City. You've got a Ugandan citizen that is only been a citizen, quote unquote, for 6 years, who is a Marxist jihadist. He's not a socialist, he's a Marxist jihadist that has a plan that makes no sense. It doesn't need to make sense because the only point of the revolution is the revolution, according to those guys. And he's gonna win. You saw him last night, I think it was in Forest Hills, 13, 14, 15,000 people. Bernie Sanders is kissing the ring. AOC's kissing the ring. His citizenship's totally illegal. And Andy Ogles and others in Congress are waking up to this fact, but you gotta wake up to the fact in DHS. He's gotta be denaturalized because his naturalization process was fouled. He's gotta be sent out of the country.
He is so scared right then. You can see it's almost a physical thing. Like it's not in the shot, they cut it off with the desk or whatever, but his penis is actually an innie as he's saying that. He is so utterly terrified of this guy. And I know that because of the combination of the first thing that he said and the second thing that he said. He talked about how at Forest Hills, it was Bernie and AOC and Zohran Mamdani, and they had well over 10,000 people who showed up. They packed a stadium of people for Zohran Mamdani. And that's inconvenient for Steve Bannon because if you're trying to present him as some sort of sinister guy coming in to sabotage everything, he's so radical that he generates a, 6 times bigger crowd than Donald Trump was getting at a lot of his own attempts to pack stadiums during the 2024 election. That doesn't really track. Now, that's an opportunity if Steve Bannon was interested in anything other than propaganda to think about why is Zohran Mamdani so much wildly more popular than any of the establishment Democrats or Republicans in that race? Why is it that he is so popular? Why is it that he and Bernie and AOC are so popular? You could actually learn something. And not just him, I think the Democrats could learn something too. Hakeem Jeffries, maybe you should burn a couple of neurons on that, but he's not interested in it. He's too scared. And that's why he says his citizenship is illegal. Now, we didn't play till the end of his show, but lest you believe that we cut off him making the argument for why that is, no, we did not. He does not make an argument. There's no reason given for why his citizenship is illegal. His citizenship has to be illegal. Please tell me, God, it's illegal. We gotta find something. Can we get him on mortgage fraud? Come on, did he lie to Congress? We gotta get something because we can't defeat this guy. And what is amazing about that is they have said for years that every one of the legal challenges to Donald Trump is not a pursuit of actual justice in the face of obvious criminal acts like stealing the classified documents, attempting to blackmail the leadership of Ukraine, launching a coup against the United States, all these things that are not even disputed at this point, the massive fraud in New York, the sexual abuse, all these things that Donald Trump obviously did and barely even pretends not to have done. They say that was weaponization of government, and they're coming after him legally because they can't take him down electorally. No, he committed those crimes and he should be in prison for it. That's why belatedly some of those were actually investigated. In this case, they're not even pretending that there's a crime. They just say it's illegal. In what way? How exactly is it illegal, Steve Bannon? Oh, you got nothing? You got nothing except a cold sweat running down your spine about candidates like Zohran Mamdani kicking your ass and kicking the asses of Republicans. Yes, in New York and hopefully in other places as well, because it is wildly popular. And the thing about it that scares him so much is this is actual populism. It's not that bull crap right-wing populism that they've been running on the past few years where they pretend to be representing regular people, but all of it at the end of the day is just transphobia, racism, misogyny. That's all it is. It's identity politics designed to put rich a-holes in office to transfer your wealth, the wealth and economic future of your family to Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg, that bullcrap populism that was never worth anything. This is real populism that is not only popular, but also will actually solve problems if and when he gets into office. And that is not a guarantee. The election isn't done. And even when he gets in office, he, of course, is going to face attempts to sabotage his agenda, not just from the Republicans, but from, the many clones of Hakeem Jeffries that unfortunately are filling up the legislature there. So there's going to be a lot of obstacles, but there is a good reason that Hakeem Jeffries is scared. There's an even better reason that Steve Bannon is scared. Now, he's calling for him to be denaturalized. He's not the only one. Randy Fine, one of the biggest pieces of garbage on earth right now, says, I just think we need to take a hard look at how these folks became citizens. And if there is any fraud or any violation of the rules, we need to denaturalize and deport. I know that there's a lot of us that are very, very concerned about the enemy within, people who have come to this country to become citizens, to destroy it. And again, so he only came here to destroy it. It was a savvy plot for 7-year-old Zohran Mamdani when he moved to America. Did you notice that Steve Bannon's like, he only became a citizen 6 years ago? Yeah, no, it takes a while. He's lived here for decades. He's an American, buddy. That's why they lie, to make it seem as if he's new. You know what would absolutely destroy them? If you were to force Steve Bannon to sit down and watch Zohran Mamdani being interviewed by Jon Stewart on The Daily Show last night. And especially, no, actually, don't even make him watch that. Make him watch a group of voters from around the country watch that interview. Because all of their attempts to pitch him as some sort of outsider, some foreigner, a dangerous person, a terrorist, a wide-eyed crazy, a radical, all of that dies on contact with just watching a couple of minutes of him actually talk about his love for New York, his love for the people that live there, the actual policies he wants to pursue, the life experience that he's going to begin. He sounds not only not like a radical, but more like a real person than basically every establishment Democrat or Republican I've ever seen. And again, that's another reason why they're so scared. And it is particularly rich for Randy Fine to imply that he's worried about Zohran Mamdani representing someone other than America as he carries water for the IDF and Benjamin Netanyahu day after day after day. Randy Fine doesn't even remember what country he lives in at this point. He takes foreign money to advance foreign interests. In this particular case, it's Israel. And there's a lot of that in the Republican Party as well as in the Democratic Party. It's not the only foreign lobby that has bought our politicians, of course, because the Supreme Court decided to legalize that. But that's the sort of disgusting projection that gross monsters like Randy Fine engage in to try to take your eye off of them, their corruption, the complete and utter immorality of their positions. Remember, he's the advocate for children in Gaza to starve to death, trying to tell us that we should be worried about the evil of Zohran Mamdani. No, Randy Fine, we've seen evil in our government. We've seen you. We know how it works.